We've loved the conversations, and they're continuing this evening. Ted says Luka Modric will sit on the same table as Zidane, Iniesta and Xavi in the greatest midfielders in football history.
Can I just say something? Zidane's not on that table.
Yeah.
He's above that
He's
table.
on Ted's table.
No, he's not. Iniesta, Xavi, Modric, and then Zidane's over there. Yeah,
He's on the throne.
I think they'd tell you that as well.
But is he on the same table as Iniesta and Xavi? And does he get the credit for being on that same table?
I don't think he gets the credit yet, but I think he should be. Listen, what he's won at Real Madrid, been there. He got voted, I see this in the Spanish newspapers, when he signed as the worst signing that year. Crazy, and for what he's gone on to achieve at Real Madrid.
Translated that for you.
Well, I'm quite funny. I speak many languages.
Was it a stone?
But he does everything.
Yeah.
He's a player who's comfortable dictating the pace of the game, but also, as we saw yesterday, he can be at the cutting edge of the game and setting up big chances. And
we'll see it in a second, but look at this. Every couple of hours I've stopped working and thought to myself, did that Modric pass actually happen? We'll have a look at that in a second. One of the first rules I've learned watching football, never count Real Madrid out no matter their form, how they're playing, or what the score is. And Edmund agrees with the Modric assist. The perfect example of an assist that can be equal to or better than a goal. A pass only a few can conjure. Actually, who are the few? Who else in world football at the moment would have thought about it and then actually tried it and then executed it?
I think there's many players that see it, but to execute to the way he did and create the chance for Rigo, I think it's crazy. I think we're going to see some of his stuff now, but I would say Kevin De Bruyne.
The outside of the boot, yeah?
I would say Kevin De Bruyne
can
see and play it. We've seen something similar. Bruno Fernandes on the weekend played a similar pass to Marcus Rashford.
So few players there.
Yeah, like the fact that we're having to think about it. And like Rio said, in these clips, I don't think there's a midfielder that is as comfortable playing short, long and dribbling.
What is the reason for some players being underappreciated?
I don't know.
Taken for granted.
Taken for granted. Not fashionable. Some of them go home too early and don't do the press. He's not a big talker in the press. Don't do the fashion shoots. Don't wear the crazy gear. He just wants to go and play his football. He's a lovely footballer to watch. He's just so, like I say, if you look at all these passes here, there's not one of them the same pass. Yeah. He's got every club in the bag. There's a different array of passes over different distances, as Joel said. And the weight of it's always perfect. He's always got his head up. This pass, and even the players that Joel mentioned there, like Kevin De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes maybe in today's game, but even you look back, maybe Sebastian Veron, one of the only other players that you can see hitting that pass.
When he's looking round to see, finish that for me. But no, like we all said, I think it's consistency he's taken for granted.
Yeah.
I think that if he wasn't as consistent, you would be able to define his moments better. But the fact that he does it all the time, he's never playing bad, regardless of who's playing for. I think that's the bit that's taken for granted.
I think that's what he's probably got over Iniesta and Xavi as well, that he can play over longer distances. He plays better passes over long distances and more often than them two. And he can take the ball in the tight areas. I mean, Iniesta's on a different planet in terms of manipulating and moving the ball and stuff like that. But very similar to Xavi and taking it under pressure, tight areas, coming out the other side and playing. But, I mean, all three of them, fabulous footballers.
And I know that the fans and the players often see the game in a different way. How much respect would his teammates have for him and what he does for that team?
Oh, huge respect. Because there's different skill sets to being able to manipulate the ball in your half and the opposition half. There's a different kind of bravery that comes with wanting it in your final third, in your defensive final third, to get the ball, receive it under pressure and then create an attack. Is unique to the era.